98.3 FM.
Welcome on board the Morning Express.
Good morning.
Still the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Welcome to Mainland Focus. We apologize for starting a few minutes off schedule. We had to get the commercials through. We apologize for that, but commercials are a good sign, right? We have to pay the bills. But thank you for staying tuned and thank you for being here. For Mainland Focus, as opposed to trends in the papers where our analyst does the explanation, what we do is give you a chance to also tell us what you feel regarding the matters that has made it to the front pages of our dailies. There's many, and we want to get your insight on the plethora of issues. But as much as we know that you have comments on each stories, we do not have the luxury of time, and we cannot take your contribution on every single story that we've analyzed. So what we do is we select one, two, sometimes three out of the many and give you a chance to talk about it. But these stories are indeed significant. So for Mainland Focus, we can open the phone line. We can take your contributions via Facebook, where we're streaming live, YouTube as well. And you can also send a WhatsApp message as well as a text message. So there are about 4 or 5 different ways through which you can connect with us at the station here to share your thoughts about the 2 stories that has been selected for discuss. Welcome once again to Mainland Focus. My name is Sage Babalola. When you call, I would like to hear your name as well as where you're calling from, so that we can understand where you are and measure the reach that we have. That's why it's important that you introduce yourself and tell us where you are of politics. Yes, and we're also talking about the future of our democracy in the country. The first story is about by-elections and also using the by-elections that we had on Saturday and the other by-elections that we have in 2025, 2026 before the general election. I know Anambra, Osun, I believe Ekiti, a few other states have gubernatorial by-elections in another few months, yes, and we had one on Saturday. And using these metrics, or using all of the events that played out during the by-election, there's now concerns about what might happen during the general election. Today was clinched by the APC. APGA has 2, the PDP has 1, the NNPC has 1, the ADC had nothing, and the ADC is position, and the ADC is the reasonable alternative in terms of opposition. But if in a by-election with 16 seats available, the ADC was unable to get 1, are they truly worthy of this new title that they shun, ballot box snatching, amongst many other things? Have we learned our lessons? Are we going to see voter apathy once again in the year 2027? Remember the Lagos, it was in Lagos, yes, the local government elections in Lagos State. We saw voter apathy as well. There was concerns. The by-election on Saturday, voter suppression, electoral violence, the voter apathy as well to a large extent, and allegations upon allegations. And so if this is the case, what then is going to happen in 2027? Would we have enough time to rectify these electoral anomalies? Would people be convinced that despite everything that we're seeing, despite the unfortunate result of this litmus test conducted using the by-elections, do we need to make to the Electoral Act, for example? Somebody had raised, what was it, Barrister Curtis now? I don't know where I got that this idea in my head from, but it was Barrister Curtis who had said, for example, securities that are assigned to VIPs have weapons, but the Electoral Act sort of says that security operatives who monitor the elections are not allowed to wield weapons. If anything, maybe a baton to control the crowd. Why is that an exception? So when there's an attack, how is a policeman with a response to attacks that we see during the election? There's also the conversation around the electronic voting as well, or the electronic INEC. It is on INEC. It behooves INEC to choose how they choose to transmit. That's the word I'm looking for. INEC can choose how they want to transmit the result, but there's the Electoral Act that also says that BVAS and everything should be incorporated. So these loopholes, these anomalies, these contradictions that exist within the Electoral Act, voter behavior as well, the behavior of politicians, how many factors that we need to consider, and so we're using using this to sort of gauge what might happen in 2027. And so since we are the voters, you're the one with it will happen in 2027. That's our first story. For the second story, we have Dele Farotimi, a lawyer, activist, who's saying that it's not about replacing one person with another person. He says that it's not about replacing now President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with former President Goodluck Jonathan. It's not about getting saviors. That's not what this is about. That systemic realignment is what democracy will continue to fail. What are your thoughts about his position that it's hardly about the people that are there, but it is the structures and the institutions that allow them to get away with the things that they're doing? Again, illustrations have been given. We have countries where once you run, you're allowed to run 2 terms, but you cannot run 2 consecutive terms. So if you run for 4 years, you have to go away. Another person runs, and then after you can run again. There are people that have different, structures that prevents people from. There's hardly anything that you can do to the governor when they do something wrong. There are some systems where you can be investigated, and moves to impeach you would almost be instituted immediately. I can't remember. Enough is enough. You're going to have to leave. We're going to investigate you. So many countries have put structures in place to rein individual abuse. So do you agree with Dele Farotimi that it's not about replacing someone with someone? It's not about looking for a savior. It's about looking for institutions or setting up structures that even if you misbehave, the structure in itself would remove you and punish you. That is what we should be looking for. What are your thoughts? What exactly should we do? So these two matters are related but different. They're talking about our democracy. They're talking about elections. They're talking about electioneering, our structures, our principles, the attitude of our politicians, as well as the attitude of our voters. 2 stories on the table. 0913-6000-4 is that same number, but for WhatsApp, 0913-6000. We're streaming live, and use the live chat option to send your contributions to the station. Tell me where you're calling from. Please don't forget to tell me your name, and also turn down the volume on your radio when you call. Don't forget, 1 minute is all you need. Welcome, sir.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not heard from our president for a long time. I don't know what happened.
You've not heard from who?
Our senior president, we not hear from him. It's been a long time. I will find out. It's very important to us. The thing of the matter, one part of the system is true, but before you change the system, you have to get somebody that will change the system. That is it. You have to get somebody that will trust. But about Goodluck Jonathan, I will advise you, it will not come as the way himself. Because if Goodluck Jonathan should contest today, I am telling you, he cannot win up to 200 for Niger Delta. Because the Niger Delta is who I'm talking from, the Niger Delta. Hello, Babalola. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Peter Monte from Shomodo.
Yes.
Now, Babalola, I think the fellow to me has said what our electoral system, the constitution should be reviewed. Is it the angels that are coming to do this thing because union? The answer is no, because we are a sovereign nation. And as a sovereign nation, we are not ready to get it right. How are we going to get it right? Because for me, there should be once you become structurally, you are out. When the party votes you and along the line you move to another party, you are out of that. If the structures remain like this, the national system remain like this, I don't expect anything happening. We cannot continue like this, I beg.
Right.
Something.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
My name is Samuel. I'm calling from K2.
All right, go ahead, please.
In my own opinion, they are not Democrats. They are gangsters.
All right, you have a great morning. Thank you so much for calling. Hello? All right, we have a message on Facebook. The message on Facebook says, John Bernard Ohi says, with the result of the by-election, I would advise Neneda Usman faction of the Labour Party, real opposition members in PDP and the Obedient Movement to just bury their differences and join the coalition ADC. This is the only way to kick ABC out of power. If anybody is waiting for electoral reform, that person is deceiving himself because President Tinubu is not ready for that yet, just like previous presidents. I agree with Dele Farotimi 100%. Sage, welcome back. Well, thank you so much. We have here... Hello, good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question this morning. I agree with the person that said that the structure. You understand?
I'm with you.
Nigeria is just like we are stuck in a place where we can't move forward, we can't move backward. Because the political class have succeeded in holding on in our jugular where we can't even move. Because when we are talking about change, changing the structure, the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive, these are the people. Because the system is beneficiary to them. That is why they can never try it maybe to alter the structure. So I don't know who is going to bring us out of this mess that we are in. So it's only the people that are supposed to change the structure are the ones benefiting from it. So they will never do it. So it's high time we take our destiny and destiny of this country in our hands. If not, we are moving nowhere.
Thank you for calling. You have a great day. Back to messages now. I'm trying so hard to make sure the messages don't pile up, so we'll be rotating. Emma Olebara on Facebook says, what do we call the type of election that was held last Saturday? Leadership is a luxury in Nigeria, a country where evil has been allowed to be one in which hungry and jobless people blindly support. Who says, good morning, Sage, Fuad, and the entire mainland crew. Or morning to you too. What happened last Saturday was not a by-election, but it was by-election. The government in power continue until we have sense and we're ready for governance. On replacing Tinubu with Goodluck Jonathan, it's not for the general interest of the people, but the interest of the few elite who will bankroll and hold his feet to fire. So I believe and I agree with Dele Farutimi. Strong institutions are needed. If there's some past government chief executive on life improvement, death sentence, etc. You mean imprisonment, I think. It says if they're past government on ride and found guilty of electoral offences. All right, thank you. Let me go back to the phones. Hello.
No, good
Morning to you, sir.
yeah. By-election.
All right.
The by-election is more about that popularity of somebody. No. We are talking about the apostle that on ground. This is their office in the world and the local government and the state. That is why they can win election. If you see all the parties that are winning the election, ask ⴰ when he joined NDC already, is he conducting any world congress or local government congress to even confront any election? No. So the only thing where the analysis is coming on the electoral process and the election body itself, if those parties have those things in place, it's not about to go to Abuja, have an office and bring in all the big money.
All right. So you mean the ADC needs to start building their structures ahead of the election is your recommendation? Good. Let's see. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, this is just.
Welcome.
So what we need presently in Nigeria is not that, because one, if you are looking for people who change the present situation we are in Nigeria, not these present politicians, because one, the obvious way is that we need an electoral reform where people, if not, that is the easiest process to bring people or new people. We just need a simpler present politician will not change anything. That is the truth. Thank you.
All right. Hello, good morning.
That's my line.
Welcome.
I disagree with when Omar Mṛīʃ came to power. He looked and said, this election that came to power is very faulty, but I'm changing everything. So if you get better leader, forget, they will give you what you want. This, they will change. In fact, just I didn't say if you get good leader, this Nigeria will change election. We won the whole Nigeria. So nobody should be
based on Obi won Nigeria. When was this election?
We won.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Morning to you.
Yeah, through with you.
I thought you said you had malaria. I'm saying okay.
No, I think you are through with your malaria, cough, kata. You.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much.
Okay. You see this something that we are using, not me that we change it. Just like Buhari said, nobody want to change it. Maybe when the next president, because this side they be doing, that can manipulate their all and all. When they started the day in my community, I don't think there's anything like that. But what we read is we see this cutlass and axe slashing in places. That's not the election. We want to be like Ghana. I don't want to say we want to be like America. We want to be like Ghana. Because nobody made me. And the results of you see it on billboards. If Madam is reach there, I should change them because nation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling, Madam Ife. Let me look at messages. Okay. Good morning, Sage and Fuad. My name is Femi Bitoye from Ayobo. I keep wondering why. Thank you so much for your inputs. Yes. Good morning, Mainland FM crew. Good morning. I'm wondering why the Igbos are complaining that they're not allowed to be president of the country. One would have expected that all of them will queue behind Peter Obi a call to realize. All right. Thank you very much for your comments. We have here Awola Christopher who says the 7th general election, everything has been taken care of. Nothing will change unless divine intervention, the leadership position, either for personal reasons, vengeance, to God send us good leaders. Good morning, Sage. What makes democracy to be well noted or rooted in any? This is one of the reasons that few politicians are able to capture larger populations. For Peter Obi, I strongly believe he will put structuration, and then people will start to call to defend. We're talking about the by-election and the story that is telling us about, among others. We had one on Saturday, and there were still allegations of electoral violence, of vote buying, votive arrest that only said, look, these are the plethora of allegations that have trailed the by-elections that happen. The PDP by-electrification start to deals with issues like this one. If you're caught, this is the punishment. If you're caught, this is notification that happens. How can we set up a system that is able to repair itself from inside out? That person there is about setting up structures that can also take care of the situation. So even if you are a bad leader for individuals, those are the stories we're talking about. We're not talking about the political sagacity of anyone. Let's not 430. You can also call the WhatsApp line, especially if you're outside the country, or send us a message on Facebook. And welcome.
Yeah. First of all, the issue of the by-election. It is what we saw is the reality of the party on ground. That's the replacing Tinubu with Jonathan. Those who are suggesting that, they are suggesting it for their own service because they know Jonathan can be easily remote. We know the capacity of Jonathan. But by and large, let me say, continue on that form because they are all part of the same feather. They are our leaders. Everybody go about his own state. And that is what is happening. The same thing in the east, the same thing in the north. There is no comparison. After that, a nice day.
Have a better one. Hello. Welcome.
Yeah, the power to meet different is and the North visit Nigeria during that period. He said that there should be stronger institutions, the judiciary, the legislature, anti-craft agencies like ICPC and the just to mention but the two. So we need that, and I think they are higher than them, stronger than the people manning them. Then after the last by-election, that's 2027, and also I know that Professor Soludo will be elected on 8th of November, coalition of confusion. There's no way for all these opposition.
Sage, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Papa.
All right.
Sage, when you talk about election, that is local government and the problem is they refuse to. Even those who we trust that we reform this election. I mean, the situation whereby somebody came on air and confessed that he did the election for our public and he's in jail now. That is the situation we find ourselves. So we are in a very big dilemma as we speak now. Thank you very much.
All right. I can hear you, but there's feedback. I need you to turn down your radio. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, please.
Please, I just want to say some two things. You guys use that election. A lot of Nigerians have not interested to use their entire election. The reason is that you will see the most
So it's different from when the election comes. Take a look at 2023. As many people that were different from when you know a particular person that you are looking. And when it comes to 2027, Nigeria have already decided. Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
Nigeria have already decided who they will vote for in 2027. So this is election business. And secondly, the other ᴏᴜᴜ talking about who can change the book by default will change it. So that is why Nigeria is trying for somebody that will be in the hand of the government. I can't do this. So I believe that this 2027 election will elect the better leaders in the city.
Thank God you are welcome back. You are happy.
Thank you.
I will receive you. Can you hear me very well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. I almost fool because I will do my thing to go and forth. But anybody that's a match, it's my candidate. If I'm more than 1% better to my country, Nigeria. See what you have on our Saturday. Go on something you do in Lagos, they say, 20% is Salamitanas. It is 8% Nigeria. Who focused last Saturday? I don't know Nigeria. I'm the man they call to Kaduna. People belong to. So where Nigeria, even though they are pushing now, they were shouting, they were doing it, they are reacting. I don't know what to say. If you want to know whether all politics are decided or not, go to where their governor rules in the state. Any local government election, the ruling party, the ruling governor, always wrong. So why we always become winner? And we need the voter, we have to extract careful. We need attitudinal change. When your party lose, you can win, you can lose. If we reject us to be loyal to our country, Nigeria, my dear lady, more blessings for you. Have a beautiful day, studio.
Have a better one. Thank you so much. Let's go back to Facebook. We have Benjamin Isa who says, "Good morning, Sage and Fuad. Welcome back. As in 2023 will be the same in 2027. Let us all push for electoral reform to get it right in 2027 election. Thank you is evidence that we're still where we were before now. In 12, is it because they're doing well as really well in Nigeria, as they are in government?" Uniting ourselves as a united people and vote massively so that we can make headway. We should not be looking at it from my tribe, religion, party, etc. Let's think of how to get ourselves out of this mess. God bless Nigeria. Okay, I think I read this already. Steve Ikelu from Maryland says, "I humbly submit that overhauling the system is the best way to go with this appendage. May God help this nation." Steve Ikelu there. We have good morning, Sage. Okay. For me, I'm not surprised. The real issue here is that we refuse to be realistic of the fact that there's nothing like election in Nigeria, and there will never be until there's a true and sincere electoral reform that would guarantee free and fair election. Else, democracy in Nigeria will remain a dream. INEC reforms that you think we should take so that we're not just making generic on the surface comments. If you say that there's a need for electoral reforms, in what aspects? For example, you mentioned the security operatives. Do you think that maybe we should reevaluate the kind of authority and power that is given to them during election? Because remember, they cannot even be close to the people that are voting. They have to be at a distance. I can't remember what the distance is now. They have to be at a distance. They cannot use weapons. They maybe baton is the highest that they can use. So it's only so much they can do. The best there's that. Do you think that we should reevaluate the powers that are given to security operatives? When you say electoral report, for example, if there's a contest of the outcome of that election, should we hold off on swearing in whoever is the winner until the court says recommend, if we're saying that we're displeased with the current state of electioneering in the country? I'll read about 2 more messages, go back to calls. Good morning, Mainland FM. People calling Jonathan to come in 2027 wise enough to ignore and decline the support the opposition is in disarray, marked by poor coordination, lack of figures like El-Rufai, Atiku and Peter Obi, along with their ADC-LP coalition, showed no significant impact in states like Kaduna, Kano, Taraba, Jigawa, Niger, or Anambra. Their ambition for 2027 seems unrealistic, given their current state. I suggest they seek legal redress. Sent that one on WhatsApp. Hello, morning to you. Hello, you're live. Okay, you might need to call back.
How are you today? And I'm calling from Maryland.
Right.
Yeah, good authority that unless and until something will change. Doing something over and over, and they expect a different thing of the way we are conducting other crimes, like the United States, which is the bastion of democracy. We must change the way the chairman of INEC empire. They are allowed to be appointing INEC chairman.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir. Thank God we want the restaurant out to the so all these people that will come out to Nigeria, but no longer about what is focused on the phone. We compel you with joy in killing like all these Boko Haram people. They less joy cannot not to do so. He says the consequence. That is how it is done. So you can see the result. Sometimes I ask a question: what? Tell me one good reason that people will go out and say they want APC to continue.
Thank you very much. You have a beautiful morning. All right. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, the government is looking to do this. People have so because people have lost faith. Now, blessings employ maybe several organizations. And then, we don't go see loss. And what we will it was not a defect. We lead by example. People are looking into me. So, this will never change.
Good morning.
First, the monetization of the electoral process and allowing the India candidates to emerge. Again, any amount or two to deal with people that have committed electoral offenses. And again, we should be working immediately you are in a day or two electoral meetings where through the computer, whatever, within 1 or 2 months, and everything is done. And they shouldn't allow all these government, president to appoint.
Have a great morning. Thank you for calling. 091360004 09136000430 about voter behavior as the primary opposition for 2027. That they're not as strong as they're telling us that they are. Their lack of, they continue to maintain that they will be the opposition for 2027. Without rejigging our electoral system, the strength of opposition automatically resets itself. Structures that cannot be manipulated either by those already in power or those who would. How can we deal with those who after we can manipulate electoral processes? Are there any countries whose electoral system you believe we can use as a reference point whilst adjusting our own, bearing in mind the peculiarity and culture, who we are in terms of voting here in Nigeria? We're also talking about with Goodluck Jonathan. It's about setting up structures that can fix whatever issues there are, structures that can whip individuals in line if they start to deviate from the promises that they made to the people. Let's take your contributions. I can take 3 more calls and I'll just wrap up with the messages that I have on Facebook and on.
That's why reform in Nigeria. We're always in our time. Imagine we are discussing. It's like Mr. There is no one who can let the right people in the positions. It's impossible. Remember my state. How can Apple can win the whole whatever they do election? Does it mean the other candidate can work? It's annoying. But all is well.
Appreciate your insight. Hello. Connected.
No, disconnected.
Okay.
This thing that developed to me is saying. She wants us to continue in this same fraud system called election, and we believe this nation will move forward. It cannot, because I will see data, and I'm a data analyst, position of Nigerians. So if you are so where was people questioning the position of IG and everything, how do we strengthen all this election 1,000 times? All the strong leaders will still have their way.
Spending the rest of the time we have reading messages on WhatsApp. I have here, good morning Sage and Fuad. On 2027 election preparation, only 2 things can change that story. First, access to the position. Secondly, until Nigerian citizens press for the appointment of the CJN INEC chairman, and it should not be the president appointing them before there would be transparency. And you say longest amount on infrastructure. I think we can also spend such amount on electoral devices and equipment, including building an ironclad database that can, but if we can accommodate electronic and online voting and cancel manual entry of results, we will make progress. Dream What kind of break is that? Anyways, regarding the by-election, if the voter apathy, suppression and vote buying that took place. Good morning, Mainland FM. The talk from Daily Farotimi. What we need. Good morning, Mainland crew. This is Funshaw. It's baffling that the parties are investing so heavily in membering in our electoral law. Sponsoring party members in future election will indeed be a futile exercise. All right. Good morning, Sage. There's no hope in 2020 actively. Up until now, there's nothing like amending the electoral reform and or INEC regain vote buying in the just concluded by-election. May God restore normalcy in a government in power will continue to control the Good morning, Sage and Fuad. On the by-election, if the ruling party notices that they are going to go anywhere, electoral reform is the panacea. One can vote at one's convenience using the PVC the way we use our ATM card. We need an electoral reform that allows all elections and their cases to be decided before anyone is sworn in, benjacking in strength and formidability, remaining subservient to personalities. No electoral becomes strong and sacred to all, regardless of position or power or creed, but conditioned against patriots. Thank you, Sage Leke from Alimosho. That's everything that we can take for this moment. Thank you so much for your calls and your messages. We're very good. We'll be focusing on internet. I believe the Ukrainian president should be on his way to the Oval Office by now. That's if it's at 10 a.m. But don't forget, we still have more coming your way. At 10:15, we have Mother and Child Lounge. It's a new program, and so we ask that you listen. It's a musical program that takes our mind back. So 7 p.m. with Cordelia Okwe with their icon Princess Bumi or Lajubo. That's a very brief rundown of what to expect the rest of the hour. We'll be back at 10 for Global View.